Yo, what's up guys, gonna share today in this video. We're gonna be reviewing the two newest ReKits in the game, Hokage Naruto's ReKit and Sasuke Wonder Ninja's ReKit. Now this is the first time that I do a double full kit review in one video, so this is going to be a little bit longer than it should be. So bear with me here. The first part is going to be about Hokage Naruto, the second one is about Sasuke, and then the end is going to be conclusion about who's better in every aspect in the game and who's going to be better in the next Sam number 14. So let's get started. Alright, we're starting off with Hokage Naruto, and of course the first thing we're going to be reviewing here is the ultimate. Now the ultimate is one of the best ultimates in the game right now. It has 5,000 power as level 1, which is the highest in the game right now. The only two other characters that have that, I believe, is Madara and Obito. If I'm not mistaken, there might be someone else who has it. I think I said this same sentence before in other review, but I can't really remember who. It might be Kakashi though, but the Dio Sharingan Kakashi, but I can't really remember. And anyway, the critical hit rate for level 1 is also 50%, just like Shisui's ultimate. And the CB cost, unlike Shisui's ultimate, is only 350 CB cost. The cooldown of his ultimate is 60 seconds as well. And basically the description says it attacks with shadow clones, causing a huge amount of damage and decreasing the defense. The effect is small and the infliction of confusion is large. Now the large effect for confusion is 7 seconds, and the small effect of the defensive buff is 65% of the enemy's defense, and the time lasts for 8 seconds. So that's basically level 1. So level 1, by the way, does 5 hits. I mean, the ultimate in general does 5 hits. The damage is divided over the hits, but the damage is actually not the standard damage of 100%. It's actually 130%. This is just like Itachi's new ultimate and the Yellow Flash's new ultimate, Minato's ultimate. So basically, all of these ultimates, including Hokage Naruto's ultimate, the new one that we're talking about right here, have 130% of the standard damage. So basically his damage is divided over the 5 hits. The first 4 hits will be doing each of them will be doing, I think, when we compare him to Jiraiya here, by the way. So we're going to be using Jiraiya first to showcase a level 1 ultimate, which is, by the way, has a difference of 500 damage or 500 power, so that would be 4,500 instead of 5,000, and the damage you're gonna get from Jiraiya is around 8,500 to 8,700, while Hokage Naruto in general will be around 12,000. So basically you get somehow 3,000 extra, and of course when we take in consideration the 500 difference in power, that will be 1.3% of the actual damage that Jiraiya does with his ultimate. So you can see in the screen right now that Hokage Naruto's ultimate basically did 4 criticals out of the 5 hits. Now the first 4 hits do like 2,000 damage, and then the last hit does double the first hits. So basically the first 4 hits have 2,000 damage, and then the last one does 4,000 damage. And of course with critical, that would be doubled by or multiplied by 1.5. So in general, the ultimate does a lot of damage, and yeah, the critical hit rates of 50% at level 1 helps a lot. Most of the hits are going to be critical. So yeah, the ultimate is actually really good, even though it's not as crazy as the Sasuke's ultimate that we're going to be talking about right here. It still does a lot of damage, and I guess it will be really good in the next Sam anyway. And of course, not to forget about the range. The range is really big. It's some kind of an oval shape, which has a base of a square of 7 by 7, and yeah, it's just really big. And the animation time, even though it's not as long as Minato's new ultimate, it still has pretty good timing that can overcome some iframes in the game, very short iframes, and some iframes like Madara's Uchiha Reflection, where he basically like activates the iframe on the first hit, and then the other hits will basically kill Madara or whoever used the iframe in the first hit. So basically his ultimate is freaking amazing. Alright, moving on to the 4-star ninjutsu that he got in his new kit, and we're starting off with the Rasengan Super Barrage. We're going to be comparing the damage of the two ninjutsu with another one from Hashirama, the dragon or the wooden dragon, to get the actual damage, the value of damage later after we talk about these two ninjutsu right here. So, starting off with the Rasengan Super Barrage, the CP cost is 80, 3 seconds cooldown, the critical hit rate is 36%, and the base power is 8020, which is actually something they never write in the right way, because of course it's not 8020, it does multiple hits, and we're gonna prove how much it actually does. So what he does here is that he releases a shadow clones and strikes with Rasengan, causing damage and setting off traps. This is exactly the same effect that he has in his original version. So original Naruto has the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which basically does the same effect of setting off traps, except that this time you are using 4 Shadow Clones, and each one of the Shadow Clones can actually activate different traps. So yeah, it's way better than the original Naruto's Shadow Clone Jutsu. So this is the Rasengan Super Barrage. Let's move on to the Mini Rasen Shuriken. Now the CP cost is really high, 150, and I almost never use it unless I really have to, because that's a lot of CP compared to the CP he already has as a yellow character. Yellow characters don't have that much CP, so it's better to not use it that much, or try to not use it as much as possible. So the cooldown is 6 seconds at max level, and the power is 8020. Of course, that's again false. We're gonna be proving the actual value later. And again, the critical hit rate is 36%. He launches small Rasen Shurikens, 2 of them actually, causing damage and inflicting slowed movement. The effect is medium. Alright, so the slowed movement, I believe, is for 9 seconds. And that's 60% of the movement speed of the enemy. Alright, so now we're going to be basically showcasing the damage. We're going to be comparing his 4-star jutsus with the wooden dragon of Hashirama, because it has the same value. Alright, so as you can see, basically we have Hashirama's wooden dragon that does around 400 to 500 damage per hit, and that's basically the standard damage because he doesn't do multiple hits. Then we have the Mini Rasen Shuriken of Naruto, which basically does the damage at the beginning twice with the initial hit of each of the Mini Rasen Shurikens. We have 2, by the way, just like I said before. We have 2 Mini Rasen Shurikens. Each of them does the full damage at the beginning. Then each of them does 3 rotations. So basically we have 6 rotations. Each one of the 6 rotations has half the damage of the full damage. So basically we have 3 extra hits or 3 extra full damage, so that counts up to 5 times the damage. So basically the Mini Rasen Shuriken does 5 times the damage that the wooden dragon of Hashirama does. And there you go, the Mini Rasen Shuriken, even though it costs a lot, it still does a lot of damage. So basically, if they really wanted to showcase the actual value, the 8,000 would not be 8,000, but more like 40,000. And now we have the Rasengan Super Barrage, which basically does 8 hits. Every one of the Shadow Clones does 2 hits. 1 hit when he hits the Rasengan, and then the Rasengan explodes, so that's another hit. And each 2 hits basically have the full damage, so full damage times 4, that's 4 times the damage. So yeah, basically every one of the Shadow Clones has the full damage of the ninjutsu. So basically, if we were to put an actual value of this ninjutsu, it would be 32,000 and not 8,000. So just like the Mini Rasen Shuriken, it should be 40,000 and not 8,000. I will never understand why the game doesn't really show the actual value here. But yeah, there you go, guys. This is basically the full damage that each one of the two ninjutsu does. And there are some rumors about the Mini Rasen Shuriken having an iframe in it, which is actually not true. I have tried it a lot of times, and even if there is something like that, I don't think it's possible to actually control, because I tried for at least 10 or 15 minutes against Deidara's ultimate, and I failed to escape his ultimate every single time. So I don't think the Mini Rasen Shuriken has. Alright, now moving on to Sasuke, and we're going to be reviewing the first thing, and it's the ultimate. So the ultimate at level 3 has 6,520. I believe at level 1 it had 4,800. Let's check that out. Yep, it's 4,800. And it has the critical hit rate of 1% at level 1, and the CP cost is 400. That's fixed, but every time you level up the ultimate, the cooldown goes down 3 seconds, and until you get up to level 8, which is 99 seconds cooldown. Still very long, and I wouldn't advise you to actually use it in attack mission. Just use the old ultimate if you want to use them still in attack mission. So the ultimate does basically 5 hits. The 5 hits are divided over big areas in the map in front of him, 2 right in front of him, and then 3 after that. So we're going to be showcasing that right now. Each one of the hits does the full damage. So basically he would be doing 5 times the damage in his ultimate. And yeah, well, basically that's it. There isn't really much to talk about here. It's just we're going to be reviewing now the ultimate at level 3 versus the old ultimate at level 3. There is a difference of 1,000 power. The old ultimate has less 1,000 power than the new one. So you just keep in mind that the 1,000 power translates into 3,000 damage in the clip. So the first ultimate, or the old ultimate, basically does around 19,000 damage. So supposedly, if it has 1,000 damage more, power more, it would be doing 22,000 damage, which is basically what the new ultimate does. If you use it on an enemy that is right in front of you, most of the time you're going to be doing double the hits, because the two areas of the 2 hits in front of you basically intersect in the middle, and you can do double the hit or do double the damage with it. In case the enemy is like really in front of you, like really far away, you can hit them with multiple more hits, so basically 3 or 4 hits depending exactly where they stand. So yeah, it's going to be really hard in the sound. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's going to be really hard to hit all the 5 hits, but still he does 5 times the damage, which is crazy. So yeah, basically he's the best guy for the next Sam, just letting you know. Next up we have the teleport. Now I wanted to get rid of the teleport real quick here. Mine is not max leveled because I didn't have enough frogs to max it out, and I only got 1 copy out of, I don't know, maybe I guess 3 rotations, almost 3, no, 2 rotations. Yeah, basically 2 rotations on Sasuke, and I only got 1 copy of the teleport. I guess some people didn't even get it at all in like 3 rotations and so on, so I'll have to be thankful here. So level 8 would basically go down to 3 seconds cooldown, and the CP cost will be 78 instead of the one that I'm using right now. 96 is too much. So it basically what is it called? Well, it teleports you randomly into a nearby area, and it's basically random. You cannot control it. That's the worst thing about it. You cannot control it, and it works exactly like a tornado trap. So if you take a tornado trap, the 2-star tornado trap that basically throws you into another floor, this is exactly the same thing. It's completely random. If you have 3 floors around you, you will go into one of them randomly. You might actually try and go back to that floor and use your teleport. You might end up in the same floor that you ended up in the first place. So basically it's completely random. You have 33% chance to enter in one of the 3 floors, and of course you don't know where you're going to be landing there. So yeah, it kinda is uncontrollable, and it's really hard to deal with it. However, sometimes it's very useful when you have to get rid, or to let's say you want to escape some messy situation, like Deidara's ultimate or any ultimate in general. You just have to use it and get out of that floor. Now this doesn't work for the last floor in attack mission because well, after you enter the floor you cannot get out anymore. So this teleport works exactly like a regular teleport, and it has a really small range. It doesn't even like work like a tornado trap, a one-star tornado trap, which will throw you somewhere randomly in the map. It works exactly like a regular teleport, except that it's even worse because it has some kind of delay between well, the teleporting positions. So when you do it, he just somehow does some kind of animation, and when he like gets to the new position, he is like, you cannot move with him right away, which really sucks. So yeah, the teleport is not really the best utility ninjutsu in the game right now. It's technically the worst teleport so far, but it's still very unique, and unlike other teleports, it cannot go to other floors. So you can use it basically in special missions like the one we have right now, where you can basically teleport to other positions or other floors to finish it off while your team is finishing other floors. So yeah, it can come in handy in some situations, but not mostly in attack mission. And I'm guessing in the next SAM it will be pretty much useless. So do not use it in the SAM. Then the last thing we're gonna be talking about here is the manipulated shuriken jutsu. Now this is a really good ninjutsu. I love that they added this to his kits, even though it really doesn't do that crazy damage at the other shurikens in the game. Of course, not considering Konohama's shurikens, because these are the most OP in the game. You cannot even, well, sustain any damage from that. So yeah, CP cost is 80, 4 seconds cooldown, 36% critical hit rate, and 8020 power as level 1. Of course, it's not like that. We're gonna be prove it wrong again. So basically what it does is that he manipulates shuriken with a wire, causing damage and inflicting paralyzes. The effect is small, and the effect is small is supposedly 3.5 seconds. Man, I think it was 4 seconds at some point, but now it's 3.5 seconds. And anyway, yeah, the damage. So we're going to be comparing this ninjutsu to the fire style of Madara, because they both have the same standard power. Now Madara's ultimate, Madara's fire style basically does only 1 hit, while this one does, let me remember, I think 6 hits. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The first hit basically has the full power, and it has the same damage as, well, the fire style of Madara. But then there's some more hits after that. I think there are like 6 hits, and these hits added together basically do the same damage again. So basically his manipulated shuriken jutsu does double the damage. Of course, if you use the Inferno style to debuff the enemy, you will be doing much more damage that way, like 4 times the damage, because the enemy loses 65% of their HP with the defensive buff. So the manipulated shuriken jutsu, even though it's not as crazy as the other shurikens in the game, again, Konohama's shurikens are the best, yeah, it still does a lot of damage if you kind of team it up with the Inferno style jutsu to do a lot of damage. And I like how they kind of balanced his new kit with the old kit. Now, I think it's pretty clear now who's the best character is. For the SAM number 14, the upcoming SAM that will be here in like 24 hours, I guess you can tell that Sasuke is better, because he's doing 5 times the damage compared to Naruto, who will be doing 1.3% of the damage. Sorry, 1.3 of the damage. Okay, so 130% of the damage, while Sasuke does 500% of the damage. Okay, so Sasuke is the better option for the SAM number 14 if you're going to be grinding the SAM and you want to get Sai's ultimate, because Sai is going to be getting the ultimate. And well, you can get Boruto's stream, which is a really bad ultimate, but you can still use it as a stack card. So that's one thing. That's the SAM number 14. As for attack mission, of course, I don't have to say anything here. Hokage Naruto wins for sure. Hokage Naruto is the best, one of the best characters right now. He's the best team-friendly attack mission main character right now. And even if you're basically, even if your team dies somehow, you can still solo. Yeah, because he has a lot of defense, he can survive a lot of damage, and most of his attacks basically do the multi-hits, which basically do a lot of damage. And of course his ultimate is pretty much almost unavoidable and even goes through some iframes in the game. So you can still solo with him, and you can still be team friendly if you like to play in teams, or play with other characters as well. So Uzumaki Naruto, the 7th Hokage, one of the best characters in the game. Top 3 for sure in attack mission as a main. As a sub character, I would say he's also really good. Probably an S tier at least, maybe double S tier even. Yeah, and of course he has the iframe in his ninjutsu in the old kit. Now this was the best ninjutsu that he has. This was the only good ninjutsu in his old kit, even better than the ultimate. So it has an iframe, it goes through walls, and it has the attack debuff, which is small. I think it does, yeah, 65% of the attack of the enemy goes away with this attack, and it has 80 CB cost. And guess what? All of his kit basically has release nature, except for the ultimate, of course, which is impact, but you really don't have to worry about that. Even if you have it at level 1, it should be doing enough damage to kill the enemies. But you can just take the green kunais. Let me show you. The green kunais would basically give you 32% damage from his ninjutsu, which is crazy because they already do a lot of damage. So every one of his ninjutsu are release type, and they do a lot of damage. So yeah, the green kunais are the best way to do it here. So yeah, attack mission main, great. Team battle, he will be great. What else? Yeah, in special challenges in general, when there are a lot of traps, he's great. He takes care of the traps easily, so that's one thing. As for Sasuke Uchiha, now I would say that he's really bad for attack mission. He's still not good. I think his kit did not really improve his position in attack mission. He's still maybe an A rank, I would say. He doesn't even have a jump, and the teleport really doesn't help a lot. Now there is one way, and of course the final room is a big problem. You can get away from that or get around that if you know how to use your ultimate as soon as you enter the last room, which even the most experienced players can still fuck it up. So yeah, I would say he's good in everywhere in attack mission except for the final room, which is a huge problem. So I would say he is still in the A rank in attack mission, definitely not even top 10. So yeah, Sasuke Uchiha is not good in attack mission. He can be good in team battle, and of course in special missions, as I've mentioned before, where you need them to teleport to another floor to finish things off while the team is basically taking care of the business in the other rooms or the floors. So yeah, in that case, he is your man. But other than that, I think he is just the best character for the next Sam number 14. Hokage Naruto is the best character, or one of the best characters right now for attack mission. So there you go, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the two characters? Who were you impressed with his kits? And if you actually summoned on any of them, or are you going to summon on any of them before their banners leave tomorrow? And yeah, if you have any other comments, leave them in the comment section below. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.